The mystery of how Rapi lost her NIMPH is something that always intrigued me ever since it was revealed in chapter 4 that she is immune to memory wipes. I even made a theory about it in a video I made on mysteries about Rapi a few months ago, where I suggested that maybe when Rapi and Red Hood were still together, the two of them found information about the Vap House. And since the Vap House is the only thing that can fix Red Hood's corruption, the two of them started searching for it. But once they got their hands on the bullet, Rapi got corrupted. And since we know that Red Hood would never hesitate to sacrifice herself for Rapi...
So, if I take that injection you have, I'll turn back into Rapi? And I'll die? Let's do it. What?
She chose to use the Vap House to fix Rapi's corruption instead of using it on herself. For months, this was my only theory on how Rapi lost her NIMPH. However, while I was rereading the early chapters for a Rapi video that I'm going to make once the Last Kingdom gets archived, I stumbled upon a possible explanation on how Rapi lost her NIMPH, which I found in chapter 4. Because in this chapter, the commander almost got shot by a rapture. But luckily, Uni was able to save him just in time. So as thanks for her saving the commander's life, Uni asked the commander for a reward.
Hey, Commander! I saved your life! Don't I get a reward?
And because we're talking about Uni here, of course that reward is something painful. Because what Uni asked for is for the commander to allow her to pinch the back of his hand. Now Mihara tried to stop Uni, but the commander, being the commander, he granted Uni permission to pinch his hand.
Well then give me your hand. May I? Really?
But Uni is a Nikke, so obviously she is much stronger than regular humans. So when she pinched the commander's hand and started squeezing, she easily broke his skin, causing it to start bleeding slightly. After noticing this, Mihara immediately stopped Uni. But even after Uni let go of the commander's hand, it still continued to bleed. So Rapi immediately attended to it and used her gloves to stop the bleeding.
One moment, Commander. We need to stop that bleeding. Hold still. Done.
Now, I'm sure that you can already tell where I'm going with this. And yes, I'm suggesting that perhaps this is the exact moment when Rapi lost her NIMPH. Because currently, this is the only scene in the story where Nikkes were explicitly stated to have made actual contact with the commander's blood. This is also the only scene we currently know of where Rapi got directly exposed to Vap House. And it even fits with the timeline really well because this scene happened before Rapi was subjected to a memory wipe near the end of chapter 4. Now, before you bring up other times when the commander got injured, again, the main difference is that here it was specifically mentioned that Rapi made contact with his blood through the blood-soaked gloves. So we know for certain that it happened. Now, of course, there are problems with this theory, which is the reason why I'm presenting this as a theory instead of a fact. Because first of all, we still don't know if simply making contact with the commander's blood can really remove a Nikke's NIMPH. Because obviously Uni also made contact with his blood as she is the one who made him bleed in the first place. But we all know that Uni didn't lose her NIMPH until she used a Vap House bullet on herself in chapter 24.
But Commander, you never did anything for us. My head feels so clear. I feel like I can do anything. So this is what Vap House can do. I can kill you both. Suen and the commander.
Also, in the recent chapters, Behemoth also made contact with the commander's blood when he gave her a Vap House punch to the face in chapter 32. But as far as we know, Behemoth didn't lose her NIMPH after this, because it seemed like all it did was mess up with the other nanomachines inside her body. So unless it's revealed that Behemoth is no longer corrupted in our next encounter with her, then I don't think that exposure to the commander's blood is how Rapi lost her NIMPH. However, there is one unique factor in Rapi's case that I must address. Because shortly after she got exposed to the Vap House, Rapi activated Red Hood. Because after Rapi stopped the commander's hand from bleeding, Chatterbox sent her flying into the ruins. So Rapi had to activate Red Hood's core to recover much faster and return to protect the commander from Chatterbox. So maybe the reason why she lost her NIMPH is because the Vap House had a unique reaction to the instant activation of Red Hood's body.
Focus fire!
Now honestly, I prefer this theory over the first one that I came up with. Because unlike the first one, we know for sure that this happened in the story. We just don't know if the Vap House can actually work this way. But anyway, as I mentioned earlier, I'm preparing for a video that I'm going to upload once The Last Kingdom gets archived. So while waiting for that, I may or may not upload some of my weirder theories in the upcoming weeks. Like the Vap House being some sort of alien DNA, or that Tetra is actually the VTC before Mustang acquired it. Nah, just kidding. But anyway, please consider liking and subscribing, and have a nice day.